This is a demonstration of how you can begin to track your progress on these sheets that I have given you. So I'm going to model that for you. As the semester progresses and the year progresses, you're going to continue to be assessed in the different reporting categories, which are these grade columns on both of these pages which you have, as well as the specific areas of those reporting categories, which are called measurement topics. So each of these white columns, measurement topics, that relate to the gray column to its left. And so the way that this will work is that you will begin to accumulate scores in specific areas as they're taught and as you complete assessments on them in the course. So for example, if you have already gotten several scores on your evaluating author's choices, for example, from dialectical journals for Warriors Don't Cry, you might have a 2, and on the first chunk or the first assessed area, then you might have gotten on evaluating author's choices 2, the second assessment, you might have gotten another 2. But let's say that you sought some assistance, you wanted some clarification as to what you were doing wrong, and based on that feedback you improved your score to a 3. Currently, if you do not have an analyzing theme score, we're going to leave that blank, and we're only looking for the most recent assessment. That's why we have assessment 3, most recent assessment, and its score. We're especially focused on if that score demonstrates growth. If it actually goes down, then there may be some reason for me to either reassess you or to determine if I need to give you a score that's kind of in between. And I use my professional opinion on that. Let's say, for example, you had a 2 here as the next assessment. I would actually give you a 2.5 for this category, measurement topic, just because there was no consistency with a 3. All right? But we're going to leave it like this for right now. And I do see that you improved to a 3, and so we're going to go ahead and say, all right, so your current average for these 2 columns, and since there's nothing here, current average will be a 3. Currently, you have not specifically been assessed with your reading of informational texts in any of these 3 measurement topics. That will come in the second 9 weeks. But for now, we'll actually leave this one blank. All right. Next, what we'll do is take a look at writing. Now, with your citing evidence in writing, you might have a score of, let's say, first time around, you had a 3. Only way you might have previously had a citing evidence in writing is if I noticed that you were already at a 3 level when doing dialectical journals. But that was not something I gave you a score for if you had not demonstrated that yet, because I really had not emphasized it or necessarily taught it in class. So for your essay, if this person was already at a 3, the person might have a 3 again. And in this instance, because they have a pattern of 2 3s, they're going to be able to go on and pursue a level 4. So he or she will get access to the level 4 prompt, and then make a decision as to which prompt he or she wants to do, and then demonstrate that citing evidence and writing skill. Over here for expository writing, you've only been assessed once, and it was a hefty assessment though. It was for an essay, so I'm actually going to keep this as a score. And let's say you had a 2.5 on your expository writing. Okay. Again, by the end of the semester, you'll have an opportunity for a level 4 in expository writing. I'll have you explain something in writing, and you'll get that opportunity eventually if you demonstrate level 3s. So for now, let's say you had that, and then creative writing. You just recently had a blog post, and let's say for creative writing, you scored a 2. The way that this works is, you again would take the averages, and we're going to see a 3 and a 2.5 and a 2. And I want to pull up my calculator, so let me see if I can do that. All right, so I have 3, 2.5, and a 2. And divide that by 3 because there's 3 different things, and you have a 3. So let me check that again. 3 plus 2.5 is 5.5, right? Plus 2 is 7.5. 7.5 divided by 3 equals, that's actually the score we needed right there, is a 2.5. 2.5. I go to the next page. Now, speaking and listening, we've not assessed yet, so I'm not going to include that in my average score yet as I'm tracking my own progress. Grammar mechanics. We did start out the year with these, so I'm just going to enter in some scores that are simulating the scores you might have gotten. And I'm also going to do the same thing with the vocabulary development. All right, so in the same way that we did before, we're now going to actually also average these together. Craft and language usage, you will have a score on when your essay is finished grading or being graded or scored. Let's just say you also have 2.5 there. Now, you can see what your current average is and know a basic score you'll have. I do like the ability to be able to see a pattern. However, again, craft and language usage, it was an essay. This was a pretty important assignment, and so I think that I would go ahead and, in tracking my progress, include that even though there's not 2 things assessed. So I have a 5.5 plus a 2.5, and that is 8. Oh, excuse me, 8 divided by 3. Is 2.66. I'm going to average that up to 2.67. And my habits of success. This is actually the only thing in Blackboard that's a running average because it is something we want to be at a high level every week, and it is not something necessarily that you should grow in. You should be respectful and responsible and have resolve. You know, the respectful part is that being a good peer, being a good classmate, that's that relationships. But let's just say the average for your habits of success currently is a 3.33. All right, so now what do? I can now compute my averages and have a current score. So I will put my tracking date, and my tracking date, let's say, is 10/7/19. My reading literature score is a 3. And let's say my writing score is a 2.5. Let's say my speaking and listening score is still actually not present because I haven't assessed that yet. Neither have I assessed reading informational text. Let's say language. Current language score we had is a 2.67. And my habits of success score we said is a 3.33. Now I can come back down here, and this is going to be where I can put this average in, 10/7/19. And on my paper, I can know where I am currently by calculating this. So, all right, so I've got 3 plus 2.5 plus 2.67 and 3.33. And this is where I can divide the number by 4, and it equals 2.875. All right, so put that in. And it's actually a 2.88. All right, and then I've got this document that tells me what a 2.88 is, and this is on your welcome screen in Blackboard, and it shows it as an 88. So this person at 2.88 is currently at an 88% in the class. And smaller font. When you're handwriting this, you can just put that as the percentage as well. All right, so this is how you compute your current averages, how you can determine your current progress, and how that the goal is not, as I see it, and definitely should not be your only goal either, just to have a percentage, but your goal is actually to track your learning and whether or not you're growing with these added assessments that occur throughout the semester. So when you are lacking a score that you would like to have, this is where you seek resources, you seek my feedback, and also intentionally set out to get higher scores and improve. So, all right, well, good luck in tracking your own progress, and I hope that this has made it a little bit easier for you, possibly for your parents, to be able to know what you can do in improving in the class.